Well, hello and welcome to Castlecombe for the Teenage Cancer Trust Karting Challenge for 2018. This is always a great event. We've got an eclectic mix of drivers from all walks of motorsport. We've got drivers, we've got family and team members, and even the odd motorsport commentator daft enough to get involved as well. It's going to be a great event, all raising money for what is a really great cause. I'm sure there are going to be a few scores settled out there as well, so keep watching to see what unfolds.
And here is the first of 24 heats. Every driver takes part in 3 heats and starts on a different row of the grid for each of their heats. Jason Cooper, last year's champion, lines up on pole position for the Cotswold Blacksmith sponsored Heat 1. Alec Livesley joins him on the front row. Andrew Wheels lines up on row 2 with Lewis Kent, the TCR UK driver. Stephen Mackley lines up 5th, while JMR scholarship winner Sebastian Job lines up in 6th. Jason gets a great start with Lewis Kent also gaining on Andrew Wheels and moving up into 3rd. Lewis Kent and Sebastian Job go through the chicane side by side, but Lewis is able to hold on to that 3rd place. Lewis then fights his way into 2nd place with Alec Livesley just holding off Sebastian Job for 3rd. Sebastian then tries to find a way past Alec on the last lap but isn't able to make it stick, and Stephen Mackley takes advantage and moves up into 4th place. But Alec Livesley was able to hold them both off to take 3rd place. So Jason Cooper wins heat number 1 ahead of Lewis Kent, with Alec Livesley in 3rd, Stephen Mackley 4th, Sebastian Job in 5th, and Andrew Wheels in 6th. And for heat 2, sponsored by On Pole, we have Matt Round-Garrido, the Northern Irish Formula 4 champion, on pole position. Billy McGill lines up 2nd, David Chapman 3rd, Alex Kite, the Castlecombe saloon car driver, in 4th, Jack Hope in 5th, and Rob Wellham, who's a multiple karting champion, which also includes being the 2015 British champion for the Saudi World Series, lines up in 6th. Alex Kite made a fantastic start to jump up into 2nd place into the first corner. There was a battle for 3rd between Jack Hope and Billy McGill, but Rob Wellham was able to pounce and move up into 3rd place. Matt Round-Garrido and Alex Kite were battling hard for the lead, which was allowing Rob Wellham to catch up quickly. Rob then pounced up the inside of Alex Kite to take that 2nd place. And then on the last lap of the race, he dived up the inside of Matt Round-Garrido. They exited the top corner side by side, but after a bit of contact, Rob ended up in the wall and Matt carried on to take the victory just ahead of Alex Kite. However, after the race, Matt Round-Garrido was given a penalty which would affect him for the finals. Billy McGill came in 3rd, Jack Hope 4th, David Chapman 5th, and Rob Wellham unfortunately ended up in 6th. Heat 3, sponsored by iZone Driver Performance, who have kindly donated a prize for the winner of the overall event. Rory Smith lines up on pole position, Andrew Woodbine lines up 2nd, Robert Ellick in 3rd, Oliver White, the 11-time champion of Brands, in 4th, Matthew Adcock in 5th, and Brad Kent in 6th completes the grid. It was a great start by Rory Smith to open up a gap into the first corner. Oliver White was challenging for 2nd, but wasn't able to make it through as it all got a bit close for 4th behind him with 3 abreast going up the back straight. Oliver White was able to get into 2nd, with Andrew Woodbine holding that 3rd place, but Brad Kent was able to fight his way through the field up into 3rd place with Matthew Adcock behind him 4th. But Rory Smith was untouched out in front to take the victory ahead of Oliver White, with Brad Kent in 3rd, Matthew Adcock 4th, Robert Ellick 5th, and Andrew Woodbine in 6th. Heat 4, sponsored by DriveTech Limited, who are hosting this event, has Josh Harvey on pole position, the Castlecombe Hot Hatch winner. Josh has also raced in the BMW Compact Cup and the Castlecombe Formula Ford Championship. Alan Caulfield lines up 2nd ahead of Chris Ramsden, with David Vivian in 4th, Dan Tranter in 5th, and Owen Hunter, a former Saxmax champion, in 6th. Josh Harvey made a great start, but it was David Vivian who made the best start and was able to jump up into 2nd place. There was battles further behind for 4th, and Owen Hunter was unable to take advantage. Dan Tranter then made a mistake at the last corner which held up Owen Hunter, but Dan was able to pick himself up quickly and dive up the inside of Alan Caulfield to take 4th place. Alan tried to fight back but wasn't able to make it back past, but it was Josh Harvey who came through to take the victory ahead of David Vivian, with Chris Ramsden in 3rd, Dan Tranter 4th, Alan Caulfield 5th, and Owen Hunter in 6th. Heat 5, sponsored by AJK TV, who are filming this event, has double National Formula 4 champion Niall Murray on pole position. Phil Law lines up second ahead of Andy Brickles, with Lee Morgan 4th, Taylor Walsh 5th and Matt Parr in 6th. Niall Murray made a brilliant start to lead into the first corner, but it didn't work out well for Phil Law, who dropped to the back of the field. Niall was able to open up a big gap ahead of Lee Morgan, who had Matt Parr right behind him. Andy Brickles was in 4th ahead of Taylor Walsh, but Niall Murray was untouchable out in front, pulling away to open up a big gap and take a dominant victory. Lee Morgan was under a lot of pressure from Matt Parr, but just held on to take second place, with Andy Brickles coming home in 4th. Phil Law got back up to 5th place, with Taylor Walsh finishing in 6th. Heat 6, sponsored by Glastonbury Spring Water, has Bradley Yates on pole position. Luke McShane lines up alongside him, the Castle Combe Class D champion from 2014. Stefan Mackley and Thomas Capazone share the second row, with Andy McEwen in 5th and 2012 Austrian karting champion Nico Gruber. Luke McShane made the best start and was able to get his way into the lead of the race. Thomas Capazone fought through into second place, with Bradley Yates dropping to 3rd. Thomas Capazone was then able to dive his way through into the lead, with Luke McShane relegated to 2nd. Stefan Mackley got into 2nd, with Nico Gruber fighting his way through into 3rd, and Luke McShane just holding on to 4th. But Thomas Capazone came through to take the victory ahead of Stefan Mackley, with Nico Gruber completing the podium. Luke McShane took 4th ahead of Bradley Yates, with Andy McEwen in 6th. Heat 7, sponsored by Aphid Awards, who are providing trophies for the top 3 in the overall event, has Joey Foster, the 2009 Australian Formula 3 champion and Formula Ford legend, on pole position. Paul Mason lines up 2nd, Jack Hope 3rd, Sebastian Job 4th, Charlie Knox 5th and Carter Williams rounds out the grid in 6th. Joey Foster made the best start and was able to open up a big gap straight away. Sebastian Job fought his way through into 3rd, with Carter Williams getting up to 4th and Charlie Knox into 5th. Sebastian Job fought through into 2nd, with Paul Mason just holding on to 3rd ahead of Charlie Knox. But Joey Foster came through to take a dominant victory ahead of Sebastian Job, with Charlie Knox getting up to 3rd and Paul Mason just holding on to 4th place ahead of Carter Williams, with Jack Hope finishing in 6th. The Teenage Cancer Trust Karting Challenge Heat 8 has Lewis Kent on pole position. Vincent Jay, the National Club Formula Ford champion, lines up alongside him, with Matthew Adcock and Rob Wellham on the second row of the grid, and Charlotte Starkey, the Marshall winner, picked out of a hat, lining up 5th, and Sam Yates completing the grid in 6th. It was a pretty even start at the front, but Lewis Kent had the inside line and was able to convert that into the lead. It was a bit close for 4th further back, with Rob Wellham just holding on to that 4th place. Matthew Adcock was able to find a way through past Vincent Jay with a little bit of help from Rob Wellham, but Vincent fought back as they headed back down the hill, and Rob Wellham had to back out of it, and Sam Yates tried to squeeze his way through but wasn't able to get past. Matthew Adcock was under a lot of pressure from Vincent Jay, but Rob Wellham was able to take advantage and move into 3rd place. Matthew Adcock was doing a brilliant job of defending from Rob Wellham as they caught a back marker and had to go either side and just getting past without trouble. But Lewis Kent came through to take a dominant victory in the end, and Rob Wellham was able to find a way through to take 2nd place ahead of Matthew Adcock, with Sam Yates also getting through into 4th and Vincent Jay finishing 5th and Charlotte Starkey finishing in 6th. That's the end of part 1 of the heats. Thank you for watching, and a massive thank you to everybody that took part, all of the sponsors of the event and everyone that supported this event and donated towards this fantastic cause, which is Teenage Cancer Trust. You can head over to their website, teenagecancertrust.org, to see some of the brilliant work that they do in helping young people with cancer. And again, thank you very much.